Hey, sweetie. I'm just texting you to remind you that I won't be home this week as I'm going to spend it with my dad. It's the anniversary of my mom's passing, and I want to make sure I'm there for my dad, and I want to visit her grave to pay my respects. I know a week is kind of a long time, but it's a really difficult time for both me and my dad. I just want to make sure that I can give him the comfort that he needs and that he deserves.
Oh, is it that time already? I guess the year's gone by quickly, huh?
Yeah, I don't know where the time's gone, to be honest, but I still miss her like crazy, and it feels surreal that she isn't actually here with me anymore.
Yeah, I guess it can be kind of difficult, but don't you think a week is a bit too long to spend away from home? I mean, do you really want to spend a whole week with your dad? He's not the easiest man to get along with.
My dad's fine to get along with. You just find it difficult because he's my dad. I bet every guy feels like that when they're married to his daughter. Dads will always be protective over their daughters. It's just the way things are. Doesn't mean he doesn't like you or anything.
Uh-huh, I guess, but who's gonna cook all my meals and clean the house whilst you're away? These are important jobs and they really need doing. You can't just abandon them like you are.
Well, you're a grown man, aren't you? You know how to cook and clean, so you can tidy up after yourself whilst I'm not there. It's not that difficult.
I just don't think it's necessary for you to spend a whole week away. You're the wife, so you should do all the cooking and cleaning and all the other household chores. As the man, I work and make the money, whilst you take care of the house. That's how this thing goes.
By this thing, do you mean our marriage?
Well, yeah.
Uh-huh. I thought so. Well, for your information, that's not how our relationship works at all. I'm not just a housewife who cleans up after you. I have my own job, which contributes towards the household bills, and we share the responsibility of everything else. That's how our relationship works.
Seriously? But you're the woman. It's your job to do all the things that I don't want to do.
What are you even on about right now?
Look, I'm just telling you right now that I'm not cleaning or cooking or anything. If the house is in a state when you get back, then that's your problem that you're gonna have to fix. I'm not doing it for you.
Do you even hear yourself right now? Are you really being that selfish that you'd actually start a fight on the most difficult week of the year for me? Over some stupid cleaning and cooking?
Well, it's not my fault you're leaving for the week. If you don't want an argument or a mess to clean up when you get back, then I suggest you don't go to your dad's house at all.
What? You know how important this week is to me. My dad and I always go to my mom's grave together on the anniversary of her death, so that we can pay our respects together. I'm not going to miss out on doing that simply because you can't be bothered to look after yourself for a week.
Well, fine then, but don't say I didn't warn you.
You know what? I can't deal with you right now. We can deal with this argument when I get back, but for now, I'm going to head over to my dad's house and I'm going to enjoy spending a bit of time with him whilst I'm still able to.
Fine then, but just know you're the worst wife ever.
Whatever. Why don't you go and act like a child somewhere else? As long as you're not bothering me with your pettiness, I don't care.
I'm not being a child. You are.
Yes, because that text isn't completely childish.
Ah, whatever, just leave me alone.
Gladly. I'll see you in a week.
Uh-huh, sure. Hey, Selena.
Marcus? How come you're messaging me? Has something happened? Is everything okay? Is James okay?
Huh? Oh, yeah, everything's fine. I just wanted to ask, is today the day that your mom died?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Would you say that this is the worst day of your life?
Well, yeah, obviously. Why?
Well, I just wanted to let you know that this day is about to get a whole lot more worse for you.
Huh? Why's that?
Well, after your argument with my brother the other day, he came to me and told me everything that happened.
Hang on. Do you mean when he was telling me that I shouldn't come and spend time with my dad and pay respects to my mom simply so that he wouldn't have to cook or clean up after himself? That argument?
Yup, that's the one.
Okay then, what about it?
Well, he told me what happened, and I have to say that I agree with him. As his wife, you really should do your duties, which, for you, include cooking and cleaning and maintaining the house for him.
Look, Marcus, this really has nothing to do with you, and to be honest, I really couldn't care less about this conversation today. I've got other, much more important things on my mind.
What? Like your dead mother, she's not going anywhere, so there's no need for you to be so short. You got time for a conversation. Besides, she's dead, so she really doesn't take the precedence over my brother, your husband, does he?
She might be dead, but she's still nowhere near as cold as you are.
Jeez, calm down. I messaged you because I have something very important that I need to tell you.
What is it then?
James has decided to divorce you.
What?
Yeah, he said that, considering you're not actually acting like a wife, he doesn't see the point of being married to you. He'd rather find someone who's gonna do the things that a wife should, without having to be told what to do.
You're kidding me, right?
Nope, I'm really not.
Uh-huh, sure. Look, just tell James that I'll be home in a few days and we can talk everything over then, okay?
I don't know why you won't believe me. He's asked me to tell you that he wants a divorce. That's the be-all and end-all of the matter.
Look, not to be mean, Marcus, but this wouldn't be the first time that you've tried to meddle in my relationship with your brother. I want to talk to him about this first before anything else happens. That way, I can get the whole story, and me and James can work on it from there together, okay?
Okay, but don't say I didn't warn you.
Uh-huh, okay, I won't. Marcus? What is going on? Why is my house saying that it's been sold? And where are all of my things? I've tried to message James, but he's not answering. What on earth is going on?
Oh, so you finally decided to return home, huh? It's about time.
Marcus, this isn't funny. What's happened?
I did tell you that James said he wanted a divorce. He decided that if you weren't gonna stay home and look after the house like you should, then you shouldn't have a house to call your own.
So he sold it? How did he even do that so quickly?
Well, he didn't want to live with you any longer, so he put the house up for sale at a very cheap price. He thought that the sooner he could get out, the better. Of course, with how expensive houses are at the minute, and with how cheap yours was on sale for, it got snapped up right away. James now lives with me whilst he looks for somewhere new to live.
I can't believe he's done something like this. All because I went to spend some time with my dad and visit my mom's grave?
Yeah, well, it's taught you a valuable lesson, hasn't it?
What?
Yeah, you should do what your husband tells you to, if you want to live a happy life. My brother earned all of the money for that house, and you couldn't even be bothered to clean it and keep it tidy like he asked for? You're not fit to be a wife or to have a house.
So James just sold it?
Yep, but you know what that means now, don't you?
What?
All the people have moved, leaving you homeless. So, get out of my brother's life, you leech.
You know what? Got it. Goodbye.
Huh? You're just gonna agree like that?
It's what he wants, isn't it? And to be honest, at this point, I'm feeling the same way.
Well, no, you're supposed to beg and plead for James to take you back and then promise him that you'll do everything and anything you can to keep him happy so that something like this doesn't happen again.
Yeah, that's not happening. If he wants a divorce, and if he's going to act in such a selfish, horrible, and immature way, then he can have his stupid divorce. I don't want anything to do with him anymore.
You can't do that. I told him that you'd come running back to him, begging him to take you back if he did what I told him to. You need to just stop being so hard-headed and thinking that you're on the same level as us men. It's not true. Your place is in the house, cooking and cleaning and making sure that her husband is happy. That's what a good wife should do.
Well then, I guess that means I'm a terrible wife, doesn't it? And if what you said is how a true wife should act, then I'm glad to disappoint you and your brother.
But you'll be homeless if you don't apologize to James.
Actually, I think you'll find that I'll be just fine. I'm the one who earned the most out of me and James, and my dad will be more than happy to let me live with him whilst I look for a new place. I'll be perfectly fine, thank you.
But what am I gonna tell James? He's waiting for you to come groveling to him. I can't have him living with me.
Well, that's too bad, isn't it? You should have thought about that before you tried to do this little scheme of yours. But I guess you've done me a huge favor, so thank you for that. Now I can truly see just how awful my life would have been if I stayed with someone like James. I would have been miserable. Anyway, goodbye, Marcus. I'm glad I won't have to deal with you as a brother-in-law anymore. You're truly horrible.
No, wait, Selena, you can't just go. It's not allowed.
I can do whatever I want, actually. I'm a free woman now. Goodbye.
Selena, look, Marcus told me what happened this morning between you and him and how you're not answering his calls or texts anymore.
Oh, James? Finally talking to me, are you? Now that your messenger can't do it for you.
Yeah, about that. It was all just a misunderstanding. Why don't you come home and we can sort it all out, yeah?
You sold our home, remember?
Oh, yeah. How about I come to you then? You're at your dad's house, right? I can stay there with you and we can work things out.
No thanks. There's nothing to work out, especially with the behavior you've shown me lately.
Oh, come on, please. If you don't, then I'll be homeless. Marcus is kicking me out, saying that he doesn't want to share his home with me as it's his own private space. You have to take me back. I'm your husband.
No, you were horrible to me at a time when I could have really used your help. Not to mention the fact that you tried to manipulate me into begging you to take me back. You've made your bed. Now you have to lie in it, without dragging me down with you.
That's not fair.
It's completely fair, and you're entirely not my problem anymore. So please stop messaging me. I'll send the divorce papers to your brother's house. So make sure you sign them, otherwise I'll have to get lawyers and courts involved and everything. Anyway, goodbye, James. Have a nice life. After that, I sent James the divorce papers, which he signed for me simply to avoid going to court over it. Luckily, his mom let him move back home until he could find a new place to live. I might not like him anymore, but I'm glad he doesn't have to sleep on the streets. Although, it's going to take him quite a bit of time to get enough money for a house of his own. But that's his own fault. James still hasn't found someone that actually wants to be with him, and I doubt he will with the sexist way he thinks. As for me, I've managed to get my own flat nearby my dad. Now I'm able to see him more often, and I'm able to visit my mom's grave as much as I want to. I also feel a lot happier and a lot less stressed now that I'm single. Leaving James was a huge weight off my shoulders, and I'm glad to finally be doing something interesting with my life. It's never too late to start again.